All right. Let's go ahead and start the first budget committee for the year. Before we get started, we've got some business we need to tend to. We need to elect our officials again this year. So I need to get a motion to elect new officials.
Make a motion.
May I get a second?
Second.
Chuck with a second. All right. We'll start with the chair. Any discussion?
I nominate you.
Second. Second, third.
That was,
Or is this fire by baptism? Okay. All right, I'll be accepting the chair. How about vice chair?
I don't care to do it.
Leslie?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay. And finally, the secretary,
Travis,
Travis? Okay.
He's doing a good job.
he's doing a fine job.
All right, may I go ahead and get a motion to approve? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? It's too late. Let's go ahead and move on to our first ordinance. It's cleanup ordinance for multiple departments. Cheyenne sent this one in. I need to get a motion to read by title only.
Motion.
May I get a second?
Second.
Be enacted by the Quorum Court of the County of Marion, State of Arkansas, an ordinance to be entitled, an ordinance appropriating, transferring funds in the 2025 budget previously authorized in ordinance 2024-61 for the purpose of the state mandated budget cleanup. I'm gonna go ahead and read the three articles too. Article 1, affirmation. Sufficient monies are available within various departments' 2025 budgets to be reallocated to departments where deficits exist. Article 2, appropriation. That Marion County Quorum Court authorizes the following appropriations and transfers for the purposes of the 2025 budget cleanup. Article 3, appropriate or transfer monies to the following funds made up. I did that backwards, didn't I? Let me go ahead and get a motion to read it.
We did.
I did, okay.
You did.
My mind's somewhere else.
By title?
All right.
Yes.
I'll open it up for discussion.
By cleanup, what do we mean?
So this is just any negative line items that we had at the end of the year. This is just cleaning up, making them back into the positive.
There's no other discussion. I'll entertain a vote. All in favor? Aye. No opposed. Being enacted by the Quorum Court of Marion County, Arkansas, an ordinance to be entitled, an ordinance amending the annual operating budget and numbers and compensation ordinance 2025-56 for the calendar year 2026 for Marion County, Arkansas, transfer unappropriated funds to the funds sales tax law enforcement 1800 from Fund County General 1,000 for capital outlay line item 4010 small tool equipment. May I go ahead and get a motion to discuss this one?
Motion.
May I get a second?
Second.
Discussion? And this is,
Could I, I mean, I know I sent a letter out with it explaining, this is $25,000 that we're asking for to be put back into the budget, to the law enforcement budget. 2 cycles ago, when, Claudia and Wesley and them were on the Quorum Court, we had set aside, or they were gracious enough to set aside $25,000 into a bucket so that we could buy new computers in a few years, or new vests, or whatever. It was to be a reoccurring, or it was to add up. You know, you started out with 25,000 this year. If we didn't spend it, it was to add another 25,000 to it. It'd be 50,000 this year, which is what we're needing. And that, it just wasn't added to it. at the end of the budget cycle this time in 25. So we're asking for the 25,000 to be added to it, to the additional 25,000 that's there.
Okay,
So it's 50,000 that we're needing to buy the dang computer.
Computers is what you're buying? Computer.
it's, if I understand correct, we may need to do a little adjustment on this one. Cheyenne, can you elaborate,
Yes, most
please?
definitely.
Well, I wrote that, so it should be right.
I'm just going by what the boss said.
So, budgets do not accrue. The wording on this needs to be changed. We do not carry forward in budgets. The only thing that carry forward are grant funds. This is not a grant fund. I'm sorry that you were told wrong, but if you wanted to budget 50,000 in this line item, 50,000 needed to be budgeted originally, not 25, because nothing accrues in line items. We do a new budget every year. Anything that doesn't get spent at the previous year goes back into that unappropriated pool of money in that fund. So, and I've explained this, and yet this budget, this ordinance still came out.
Well, that's because I wrote it and I wanted it to go out.
Yeah, well,
So
but
really,
here's-
you don't have anything to do with it.
I do though, because the budget is my job.
Okay.
The budget is my baby. So, and the way it reads is as if I did my job wrong, and I did
But
not.
that's not the,
I'm just saying.
but we were.
But budgets do not accrue. Line items
I
do
know
not
you're
accrue.
saying that, but we had Quorum Court members that told us that's how this was gonna be.
But that's
So
not
when
how it
I was in
works.
the budget, if I had asked them for 50,000, to me, I was asking for 75, because we were told, and it's recorded in a meeting somewhere, that this was a building account for assets. So that we could plan for things like bulletproof vests and things that we just don't wanna do every single year, because they don't time of it intentionally often, what we see.
Because it doesn't
So
accrue.
what do we need to do to fix it?
You just fix the wording, because it doesn't accrue. You just need, the way you're appropriating it is fine. It's just the wording needs to be changed.
And I disagree on appropriating it. You're appropriating to capital outlay for small tools. Passed a new ordinance, $5,000 a pop for capital outlay items. So really,
That
don't
is
you
the
want
fund
this in
they-
small equipment?
I mean, that's the fund they set up, 42. That was the fund they set up, and they put the 25,000 in there. We decided to let it roll last year because we knew computers were gonna be out of date, out of support, and so we planned.
Okay, is each computer at least $5,000 a piece? Then that too.
Well, small tool equipment, I think is special line for that. So it's, as long as it's under the 5,000, it should be okay in this line item, I would think. Not a capital, outlay. But just,
You know, that's what we were told. Yeah, so we're going by what we were told this fund was going to do for us. Not trying to rock that boat, we're just trying to live in.
Can John Russo fix this? Can he?
I don't think Russo needs to be involved in that. It's just simple changing the wording. We can appropriate
Okay.
money in it. It just needed to be budgeted at 50,000 instead of the 25, if that's what they really wanted in that line item, because nothing accrues forward. Like whatever is not spent at the end of the year gets put back into that unappropriated amount of money, because that's why we do budgets every year. And we ask for certain amounts every year is because we don't just roll over what we didn't spend.
Get a call that.
So how can you say?
I went to the Quorum Court and asked how we can like put away for not every year expenses. This was their answer.
They told you wrong.
Yeah.
Bottom line, they just told you wrong or they misunderstood. Because a fund would be like Fund 1800. So if you had something you want for small equipment, Susie would have to give it another number that's for law enforcement. For that. But this is a line item. It's totally different because we have small equipment line items. Every year we have to keep coming back and every year we have to ask for more. So, and it doesn't accrue. line items don't accrue.
I know you're trying to get rid of extra funds, so I knew that was the thing.
There's really no reason to have an extra fund, it just needs budgeting process. This just need to do a new appropriation ordinance. Write this, giving you guys $25,000 more. That just come out of your transfers, that your mill transfers.
It would just need to be another 25 that goes into.
I have a problem with how much is already appropriated for.
When do you need it
We
by?
saved that $25,000 from last year thinking that it was gonna roll into this bucket. And then we asked for $25,000 again this year to put in the bucket to come up with $50,000.
Well, you're.
But in all reality, how are you saving when you're dipping into county general from 1,800? So if it wasn't for 1,000, 1,800 would be hurting really bad. So I don't see how you.
Okay, Ryan, that's the only way the sheriff's office is funded.
And I know,
We
I
don't
know,
have
but-
special funds.
But the 25,000, if you think about it, when we do budget cleanup, that if it wasn't spent, it just went back into Fund 1,800. That's where it went back to.
Well, see, that's what I thought, and we could just get
But you
it.
have to read, when you do your budget, you have to put it back in line items. We have to do that with our 1,801
But
fund.
that's not how we were told, so we're sitting here on what we were told.
Yeah,
And I know Claudia and them's not here
yeah,
anymore.
they just, I don't know if they just didn't understand. but
You can
it-
blame me.
No, I'm not blaming
It's just-
anybody.
You remember this?
It's just you got the
It-
money, it
we-
went back. You didn't lose the 25,000, it went back into your 1,800 fund.
I can tell you, we turned back enough money to pay for the computers.
But it's just,
What we need is a extra $25,000 put on top of it, I guess. I mean, it's 50,000, it's 53,000 for the computers, but we need 50. What do we need to do to fix that? Diane?
Just the wording, change it from attended to accrue over budget cycles, and it was not carried over. That section 3 isn't right. So,
Well, it was right in my mind.
yes,
I know
yes.
what you're saying.
If that's, to me, if it's gonna be like this, and then every year it's gonna be fight tooth and nail to get what we were told that we need. Why don't we just make it a special fund? I would roll forward.
Well, she just said it wouldn't roll forward.
A special fund.
If
does.
you move it into, so say we created this small tool equipment law enforcement fund, it wouldn't be 1,800 anymore, say it would be 1,809, just throwing that out there.
But
So whatever you didn't use out of that 1,809 would go back into it, and then it would stay. And you appropriate it from that new fund, and that would be just for that specific item. Whereas, what happened with the original 25, it just went back into 1,800 with the rest of the pool of money. Whereas if you did a special fund, it would be just for that. Yes, you would have to reappropriate it every year, but you would know exactly what you had left for that special need. Exactly, just like the drug buyback and the vehicle step grant, things like that. This is gonna be an ongoing thing.
It will be. That was the intention. I just
Most
don't want to
likely.
reverse that when we know there's ballistic vests and we
So
know,
how did-
like, we have to plan for these.
out of curiosity, what are you buying? What kind of computers are you for the cars?
it's for the cars. The
Okay,
ones that y'all got grants
Right,
for
right.
6 years
it just
ago,
replaces
they're,
them.
they're,
Gotcha.
they're out of,
And they were refurbished.
and they,
Yeah,
yeah, well, they're non-usable
Right.
anymore.
They
We
go
gotta
out of
replace them.
date, yeah,
And there's
okay,
not a grant for them right now.
right, okay.
And you mentioned ballistic vests, so that wouldn't be a small tool. So we would have, like, if you created a new fund, I would definitely put it as like an umbrella of something, because it's not gonna be just tools you're buying. So I would take into consideration that, because then it would be like clothing and uniform line item that would need to go in there as well. If we're gonna be branching out and doing more things than just computers with this fund and with this.
Not just using 34,008, it's called a vehicle and equipment replacement.
That's
Different.
equipment for vehicles, I wouldn't wanna make that.
If your
This
computers
is
are
the
equipment
reason
for
why
your
we have so
vehicles.
many special funds over the years.
Yeah, but these, like,
But
some of
if
these
you gotta
computers
do
are
it, you gotta
replacing
do it.
desktop computers, cause they'll use both, like their desktop and for, like, like those,
Yeah, we've got our computer fund to replace what we have in our.
that vehicle stuff is more in, and we are trying to do computers when we are.
But in order to get this passed for the March budget or the March meeting, so Dale can send us our stuff at the end of the month, what do we need to do to fix this tonight?
Definitely take out section 3. I would change in section 1, I would change that to correct. I would just put the appropriation. Um, honestly, section 4 is really all you really need. Explained it in the top.
Take out 1, 2, and 3, or 2 and 3?
What, 1, 2, and 3, I would take out. Leave section 4, because you explained it up in the
Narrative?
title
Yeah.
on what you need to do. And that's how I would leave it.
Come in asking for 50, correct?
Budget season. Special fund for this money. Go from there if need be.
So scratch.
You're gonna do that and then have it here for our meeting, right?
Sorry.
You'll have that all fixed up for our next Quorum Court meeting.
Yes.
There you go.
Okay. So just to make sure there's nothing else we need to do, because I heard small tool equipment that thrown out several times. Is there any verbiage in the top that we need to address?
No, it's mentioned up in the title that that's where it's going. And then we're appropriating from county general to that line item. So I think if 1, 2, and 3 got taken out, make section 4, section 1, and then so forth down on the sections for 5 and 6, changing those numbers. I think we're good. I think fine.
I can do that, have it resent out, and we'll have it for the next Quorum Court meeting if y'all are all right.
Okay, let's do this. I need to get a motion to amend as presented.
Motion.
May I get a second?
Second.
All right, in our discussion, and I'll give you the copy that I'm writing on if you want to take it with you. We're gonna leave the main title, it being acted, the same, the verbiage the same. We're taking out section 1, 2, and 3. Section 4 will become number 1. In our appropriate from and appropriate to, we're gonna change that amount from 25,000 from and the 25,000 to 50 from and 52.
Yes, so you budgeted 25, and that's what's in there right now. So all you need to is appropriate another 25.
You just need another
that will equal
25?
your
Okay.
50. Yeah,
Let me back up. On the appropriation, we're gonna appropriate 25,000 to add to the existing
To the
25 that you
existing
already
25.
have in your fund. Do I have any other discussion? Right, I'll go ahead and entertain a vote. All in favor? Aye. No opposed. And last but not least, I have one more cleanup. Diane, I'm just gonna read top title and the three articles. Being enacted by the Quorum Court of the County of Marion, State of Arkansas, an ordinance to be entitled, an ordinance appropriating and transferring funds in the 2025 budget previously authorized in ordinance 2024-61 for the purpose of the state mandated budget cleanup. Article 1, affirmation. Sufficient monies are available within various departments' 2025 budgets to be reallocated to departments where deficits exist. And Article 2, appropriation. That Marion County Quorum Court authorizes the following appropriations and transfers for the purpose of the 2025 budget cleanup. Excuse me, Article 3. Appropriate or transfer money to the following funds. May I get a motion?
Motion.
May I get a second?
Second.
Discussion?
you read that one already. So what had happened is I had to add
I
a,
put your duplicate in there, yeah.
I had to add that last article, Article 4, stating the completion of ordinance, I believe 87. So that's the same budget, I'm sorry, that's the same ordinance. It's just Article 4 was added in there. None of the numerical values changed on that cleanup. It was just adding a notification that Order 2587 was completed. And the reason being on that is we needed to do some transferring, and we didn't have another quorum court meeting before the end of the year. So Russo said to go ahead and get that order done. But I had to mention it in this cleanup because it was pretty much part of that cleanup with personal services. So the one cleanup ordinance with Article 4 needs to go in front of the court instead of the first one. I'm not sure which one you read first.
I read the correct one first.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, I had your other one, but I cannot find it in this pile of papers because you had two that you was
I
wanting to
did.
present.
Do you want my copy?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Hey, thank you. Let's try this again. I apologize for that. Being enacted by the Quorum Court of Marion County, Arkansas, an ordinance to be entitled. An ordinance to amend ordinance 2025 period 56, 2026 annual budget, Marion County, Arkansas. Article 1, amend Article 4, budget controls. Do I need to read this one completely?
If you want to, just to get it on the record, how long is it?
It's pretty good.
It's a good amount for two word changes.
Oh, no. No,
All right, I'll
on
Go
the
ahead.
record.
I'll go ahead and entertain a motion.
Motion.
May I get a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
This go with the my budget cleanup, or does this go with the new 2026?
26. We are amending 26's budget ordinance. Because the way it's stated right now is we can do court orders to transfer money within the funding from group to group, except for in personal services. Whereas we have already come into an issue where with that snow day that happened, or the snow week almost, some of our line items have already went into, I'm gonna say the negative because of overtime, and some departments didn't budget for any overtime. Where this amendment would allow us to move money within that personal service categories, not appropriating anymore, but allowing us to transfer already appropriated money within that category by court order or ordinance. So it's just adding 2 words, actually 3, court order or. So that we can do these court orders as needed in emergency cases, like I ended up having to do in December.
Any other discussion? No other discussion. Entertain a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
No opposed. Do we have any other business we need to discuss? No other business? Motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Second?